Okay, welcome back. Another chance to validate this theory of mine. It looks like the evidence is just sort of weighing in even more, but I still don't exactly know how to parse what I'm seeing, but I'm definitely seeing something, and it seems to be something new. Unless anyone's going to tell me otherwise. Tell me, please, that someone else has discovered this before. I would love to learn about this, but I don't think there's any other information about it. But I need to do research. I need to do digging in the literature myself. But I couldn't find anything for the first few attempts. So either way, this here in Idaho, this is where we left off yesterday. We saw all these geodesic, these great arcs going up the American west coast, Alaska, and then down the east coast, right? Okay, yesterday I was showing composites of all possible geodesics of all relevant pair earthquakes around the world. But right now, I'm just going to be showing off the geodesics. So right now, the white lines are only going to show the geodesics that passed through the one quake that we're looking at. And I'm just going to cycle through the quakes that have happened in the last day, right? So Idaho here, where we left off, and I woke up this morning, and the most recent post is a whole bunch of earthquakes on this exact same one. Right, here in Peru there was some, in New Mexico there was even more. I think in Mexico there's even more, but let's just kind of quickly go through them and take note of. So we have tons of these geodesics great arcs going around here, but then we also have a few going across the Pacific down to New Zealand here. And check this out, you're going to see even more of this activity. It's almost like the energy is going from one giant crack to a parallel crack. And mind you, these are not faults, these are bigger than faults. This is organized behavior transcending faults. And that's what I'm bringing to the table. That's what I've never heard people talk about before. Okay, so Idaho. And where do things go from there? Alaska, more along the same line. Japan, more on the same line, right? And yeah, Mariana Islands, close. Oh, and then here, where is this? Chiang Mai, Thailand, right? But the exact same, look at this geodesic, look at it. It's going through, what is this, China here almost, Alaska, exactly through Idaho, exactly through New Mexico, exactly through, I forget which one, somewhere Central America, or I think it's Mexico, exactly through the Argentina. Look at across the entire world, around the entire world. These are all aligned. Look at that. And let's see what else we have. Something Central Asia, Tajikistan. Okay. And that is even also, look at Turkey, is that Iran, Tajikistan, China again, Papua New Guinea again, these islands. I forget the islands, but look at how aligned all these quakes are. These aren't just single geodesics. These aren't just single lines connecting them. There's like multiple lines going through all of these, all along the same path. So yeah, and here's our new activity is right here in these islands, and look, it goes right through. I'm thinking Hawaii, whatever that is, and Idaho once again. Here's our perpendicular geodesic. It's like almost a right angle with Idaho, going right across the Pacific. And this is what I saw just now, that I saw even more. And then here's New Mexico, more activity. There's something interesting about this geodesic here. When I say geodesic and great arc, this is a straight line on a sphere, right? And how that works is, if you go in, if the Earth is a perfect sphere, it's not, it's slightly ellipsoid, I know. If anyone ever saw my 10-year-old solar system model on my webpage that predates the stellarium stuff by 5 years, then I've done all the modeling long, for many years. Don't worry about that. But a geodesic on a straight line, that means if it's a perfect sphere, you start walking, and after you cover all 40,000 kilometer circumference of the Earth, you come back to the same spot. And that means if it's a perfect sphere, it means that this line you have walked around the Earth is dividing two equal halves, right? That means that this line, the one that we're looking at across the west coast of South America, west coast of North America, Alaska, down the east coast of Asia, this divides two halves of the Earth. This divides the half of the Earth that is the Pacific Ocean, Oceania, and the Antarctic. Just like the half that has water, is divided against the half that has land. And that is where all our activity is. And for whatever reason, I don't know, you can look into that yourself. That's what I was supposed to be doing at the university that's kicking me out at the moment because I don't have the funding money that I applied for the grant and the professor earned that the professor didn't give me the money, and so here we are. But nonetheless, I thought I'd just share my research with the world since, going the academic route seems to go nowhere. But what is causing this? Who knows? Something to do with the tides. There is a correlation with all earthquakes always taking place at sea level, no matter what the altitude of the land is. Whether it's in the mountains, whether it's not. Earthquakes tend to always happen at sea level. There is that. There is all sorts of other factors you could consider. I've heard lots of people throw stuff at me to try to teach me new things. I've probably looked into it already. If you are like a serious, finite element guy, finite volume guy, if you are experienced in things like Cauchy stress tensors, then please let's chat. Oh heck, if you're not, go ahead and please throw ideas at me. But be aware, I probably already know, unless you have invested heavily in this field. But I'm always glad to hear new ideas, stuff like this. But don't mistake me for someone who just woke up one day and decided to start posting these things. I've been looking at the data, doing numerics for decades. Okay, so more on the same activity line, and oh my gosh, look, all these geodesics, multiple earthquakes that are all trailing on these same lines, but especially Idaho, Hawaii, and I forget what this was, Turmeric Island, something island, I don't know the name of it. But you're going to see more of this whenever I get to the end, which is pretty close here. Yeah, still our favorite geodesic around the Pacific Ring of Fire, but still more activity on this diagonal, cutting right across the Pacific. And that's kind of a new one. That's interesting. The Caribbean one. Yeah, I'll just highlight this. From the Caribbean through our Idaho point, once again, what's going on in Idaho, and all the way across through whatever this is. A lot of geodesics right through that. I'm guessing it's close to the Mariana Trench, but I don't exactly know. And then it keeps going, and right down here through Indonesia, through, what's that, like Bali or something like that. So a lot of activity right on that line also. Interesting stuff. I just got to point out that the whole time I'm looking at this, so in the post this morning, I saw just all these earthquakes lining up here, but just looking at it now, I can see all these earthquakes right through Papua New Guinea, and it looks like it goes right through the Chiang Mai one. And heck, if I turn this off, it's going to show me all earthquakes, not just the ones relative to the current selected one in Stanley, Idaho at 624. 647.21, right? I'll turn this off, and it'll show me everything, and then I'll have to tone down the alpha here. Forgive my slow computer. Yeah, see, there's everything. But then, no, I guess it's still most of the activity on Earth. It seems like it's right there. And once again, forgive me, the calculations are probably, off. I'm winging the math, but I'll think of something soon. But man, it really seems like something should be through these quakes. I think that there's just such a number of quakes here. It's probably overwhelming. There's probably like one single line that goes through all these, but nowhere near the number of these. If I turn it up, yeah, it just gets crowded out with the other data. But you can see there is this line going like this. But it is getting crowded out through the other data. But, okay, back to just focusing on our most recent quakes, and I'll just skip through the last of these. And then all this activity here in the islands, right? More activity on our favorite geodesic. And I guess that was the real thing I wanted to bring up, is that more Ring of Fire activity. There's the Peru one that I woke up to, and then more. In fact, on that Peru one, you can see that is really interesting. The Peru quake, now it's only showing quakes relative to the Peru quake and the line that I just pointed out in Papua New Guinea and Chiang Mai, the other side of the world, once again, the geodesic, the great arc across a sphere approximation of the Earth, cuts right through Peru and all these islands on the other side of the world. Isn't that weird? And they are all shaking at the same moment. Isn't that weird? So we have our typical Pacific Great Arc, and then we have this weird one cross-Pacific that's shaking, and then we have another weird one here down through Peru at the bottom of the Pacific that's shaking, and there's earthquakes aligned with each of these. Isn't that weird? Yeah, the more Caribbean ones, and there's that. Yeah, it's interesting that multiple lines going through, like all along this same path, Seems like a lot of activity through here. And then I think this wraps up with this just north of New Zealand stuff. How do you pronounce that? Kermadec Islands, my bad. Okay. And yeah, Papua New Guinea, Alaska, all favorite usual contenders, Idaho, and is that it? I think that's it. Idaho. Oh, Tonga. There. Okay, yeah, Tonga. Tonga quake through Idaho quake. Looks like a lot of activity right through there. I'm guessing there's just a whole bunch of earthquakes in both places, and that's making the line highlight. But yeah, there's the latest I just wanted to show off. So, oh yeah, I think I'll show off my software also. This is all stuff I've written myself. I've got a few transformations, geographical charts that I can transform between, and do some cool tricks with. I'm still working on it. I need. Let's see. I can rotate this guy. Oh wait, wrong. That's exactly what I need to fix, right? I was gonna say. So there. I can rotate on this coordinate at least. I need a good and proper 3D rotation, then inverse, and then reapply 3D. Never mind. I'll fix this technical details later. But so yeah, azimuthal, mole wide, and the last one's just outright spherical. Which I'll just reset all this. So WGS84 with the proper ellipsoid flattening. So for all the critics out there, and the proper sphere. If you want to see the geodesics as they look in real life. So yeah, interesting. These go straight across. Each one of these lines bisects the world, right? So there's the software I'm making as I do this. It is open source. It's online. If you want to check it out, be my guest. Feel free. Offer whatever critiques or complaints you have. I will gladly hear them out. And thanks for watching.